It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the UConn head women's ice hockey coach, Chris Mackenzie. How are you doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me, Brandon.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in college coaching?
I was recruited to Niagara University, and in that process got to see what it was like through the lens of our head coach there, Blaise McDonald. And I just thought, wow, this is something, this doesn't seem like the real world to me. It seems like coaching, and, it's not really like a job. It's more of a passion. So I during my playing time there, I let him know I was interested in coaching and that kind of thing. And one thing led to another. I ended up coaching with him later on at a different school, and that's history. And here we are 20 years later.
What was it like during your college time playing college hockey?
It was great. It was a first-year program, so everything we did was the first time it was done. So we were able to, we won some conference championships, got to the NCAA tournament. We were one game away from the Frozen Four. So 3 years previous, there's nothing. There's no program. And in our fourth year as seniors, we were one game away from the Frozen Four. So it was kind of an interesting journey and a special one.
What was it like, obviously, being seniors and going to the Frozen Four?
It was good. It was good. So we were in the NCAA tournament, and it was a hell of an experience. And I think Niagara University, it gave us all of us players an awesome opportunity to play Division I hockey, and we're forever grateful for that.
Of course, coming out of Niagara University, what was it like getting started in your college coaching career?
What was it like getting started? It was great. I mean, I think anyone who coaches the sport they played for a long time, that first year is a bit of an adjustment where you're not on the ice anymore, you're not playing anymore. So you're adjusting to becoming a coach, and it takes some time there, and I was no different. No, I'm happy I did it. It's the next best thing to actually play, in my opinion.
What was your time like at UMass as the assistant coach?
It was great. I was able to learn a lot. I had a lot on my plate, and I look back and I think that really helped me develop as a coach. I was able to kind of get my fingers in everything and get better at everything, and really prepared me to one day be a head coach. But I'm again grateful for the opportunity to coach there. I really enjoyed my time. I met my wife there. We have lifelong friends from our time at Lowell, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
What was it like getting to go back to your alma mater to become the head coach?
It was special. It's a lot different going as a player and a student being a place, than coming back as an employee and a coach. It was definitely different and a lot of fun, and another good experience, and my first head coaching job. So that was definitely an adjustment, being an assistant coach to a head coach, and a different gender, right? So from male to female, there was definitely some adjustments there. And but again, my daughter was born in Buffalo, Niagara. So I look back at all these things that were happening in my personal life with my professional life, and it's a special experience.
What was it the transition like from obviously being a player to a coach at your alma mater, having such short time, obviously, between each other?
Well, I mean, it was 8 years, so it's not, or 8 or 9 years. So it wasn't that much time difference, but it was really, it was good. I mean, I was obviously a different person when I came back, and the school had changed too. There were much different things too. It was a little bit bigger, some different buildings. And at the same time, a lot of the same professors that I had were still there. So that was really neat. So it was a little bit of a reunion and a little bit of something new too. So it was great. It was a great experience.
What were some of your accomplishments at your alma mater as a coach?
I think one of the bigger ones, we beat the #1 team in the country that year. That was really a good one. And it was a 6-win team, and we ended up with 14 our first year. So just to see kind of that transformation and the pride the players were taking in the program, it was really nice to see that. I think they were a bit disenchanted when we first got there as a new coaching staff. And I think just with some of the success we had, it kind of turned some things around. So that was really good.
What was the feeling like of leaving your alma mater as the head coach to obviously take the Ohio State assistant coach job?
Well, it was good. It was Ohio State's a different type of school, different type of athletic department, and it was a great opportunity. I was able to coach with my college roommate and one of my best friends, so that was really neat. And that was an interesting year. It was a really good year too.
What was that feeling like of getting to coach with your college roommate, obviously being on the coaching staff and obviously having such a rich history in Ohio State ice hockey?
Yeah, no, it was special. It was really good. And again, my son was born in the hospital that's on campus at Ohio State. So you look back at all these places you visit and or work at, whatever you want to call it, or coach at, and there's personal things that are happening. You're meeting your wife at your first coaching stay. You go to your alma mater, your daughter's born there. You go to Ohio State for a year, your son's born there. So it's kind of, there's a lot of things going on. So that was special. And we had a really good team that year and a great group of players that I, once in a while I hear from them still to this day. And that was, we're talking 10 years ago. So it was great.
What's the transition like from going from Ohio State to now going to UConn?
Oh, it was good. It was really good. I think UConn was in a place where they're just a great athletic program. They really supported women's ice hockey fairly well. And I was grateful to get the opportunity. My wife is from Connecticut, so she was really excited to come back home. And I was excited to work at a place like this. This is such a great place. And there were some adjustments. It was a program that had only won 3 games the year before. And I was kind of used to that. I was used to coming into a program that maybe the results weren't there. And this was a great group of players, really good, hardworking people that got along really well. And they were pretty easy to coach. I got to be honest with you, they were pretty easy to coach. And it's kind of been that way for 9 years. And we haven't messed it up yet, Brandon. So I guess that's a good thing. So we were happy with that.
What was it like, obviously, as you said, that they only won 3 games prior to when you were there, to now rebuilding the season and obviously having a winning culture?
Yeah, I think the attitude and work ethic was there. It was just maybe, a mindset of, oh, we got down 1 or 2 goals, we're not going to win this game. Like we had to learn to kind of, hey, let's fight back in these games. Get the lead, get it, that kind of thing. Just really learn how to stay in games and come back. And that's every year, let alone. But the first few years, for sure, they were kind of conditioned that, oh, if we got down, we weren't going to come back. So we had to really try to get over the hump. And they did that. Credit to them. They learned to do that, our players, as we went along. It was really good.
What was the 2015 season like for you? Obviously, being the first time their winning season since 2009.
It was good. They did a good job. I think we were backboned by our All-American goaltender, Elaine Chuli. She did a really good job for us. And we found a way to win some games that maybe we shouldn't have at times, and that was great. And it felt good. It felt like we were progressing the way we wanted to as a program.
Of course, can you take me back to the 2017 season of being the most improved postseason?
That was an interesting year. We were a pretty deep team that year, very talented, and for some reason in the first half we just couldn't buy a win. And we didn't win a Hockey East game until January of 2018, and then we went on this really nice run, and we were playing really well, and we ended up at the final We ended up in the conference championship that year, so it was really good. That was quite a story. I won't forget that season anytime soon.
What has it been like, obviously, since 2017, coming off of that most improved season?
I would say for us, we now have the mentality that, you know what, we have an opportunity to win the championship every year in our league. Like we're there. You know, if it's Northeastern or BC or whoever it is, we have an opportunity at the end of the year that we can play close with them and hopefully come out on top. So I think we see that, we feel that. We just have to now execute it on the ice.
Of course, who are some teams that you face in your conference?
Well, the city schools, Northeastern, Boston College, Boston University, Providence, Merrimack, Maine, UNH, Vermont, Holy Cross. I think I got them all.
What's it like, obviously, getting to play Maine and Holy Cross as they are so competitive each year and going in?
It's good. I mean, our whole entire league is competitive. So we just had 2 tight games with Holy Cross, and in the standings, they're not as high as they'd like to be right now, but they're getting better every year, and I'm sure they'll knock us off at some point. Much like, you know, we be able to knock other teams off as it's going on. So I think the strength of our league is that every school really supports the programs really well and takes hockey seriously, and it shows with how close the standings are at times.
What does a typical game day look like for UConn when it comes to, obviously, non-regular conference games, and then whenever you play conference games like Maine?
Well, they're all the same. For the most part, they're all the same. You know, we're either, if it's a geographically close game, we're going to have a pregame meal, get on a bus, go play the game, and come back home. If we're going up to a place like Maine, we're probably going the night before. We're going to stay in a hotel, maybe skate the next day before the game, have the game, and then come home. It'll be something like that. So.
Of course, what does the recruitment process look like for prospective student athletes looking to play ice hockey?
I think normally after the 10th grade or sophomore year, coaches like myself are going to reach out to players that we've seen at different tournaments and games and kind of start the recruiting process going into the 11th grade. There's all sorts of different ways to be recruited. If you're playing well with the team you're at and we see you, there's a good way we'll make contact with you. There's camps on different campuses that people can go to get exposure. And there's all sorts of different events that coaches like myself will attend to try to blanket recruit areas and then zero in on people we think are a good fit.
Of course, what does the official visit look like for prospective student athletes, as obviously they are not able to try on jerseys because they're ice hockey jerseys and it takes a lot?
What are they like? Let's see. Well, they come, like we've had a couple the last few weeks here, and most of them have stayed on our on-campus hotel. We fed them pizza and dairy bar ice cream. That's a major selling point for our school. And ultimately, they get to know the players, get to know the coaches. And kind of figure it out from there.
What's it like, obviously, getting to see the UConn players go on and leave UConn and make it either in the PHF or the PWHPA?
It's really good to see that they're still playing the game they love and having an opportunity to keep playing it. They're giving back in some way to the sport, and that's all you can ask for athletes that came through here and what they're doing in the future.
Of course, during your career as a head coach, has there been any players that have gone on to the professional level, whether it's the PHF or the PWHPA?
Yeah, we've had quite a few, and they've played in Europe. They've played for the PWPHA. They've played for the PHF. We have one former player that's in the Olympics this year for Team China, and 2 current players on the same Team China team. So that's really good too.
What is it like, obviously, getting to see those players, as you said, play in the Olympics?
It'll be incredibly rewarding to see that. I am excited for them and super proud that they're part of our program.
What advice would you give high school athletes looking to play college ice hockey?
Do well in school and play well on the ice, and people like me will find you.
What advice would you give college hockey players looking to go from playing college hockey to obviously playing professionally, whether it's the PHF or the PWHPA?
Keep playing the game you love and enjoy it and have fun with it, because it shouldn't feel like a job. It might be stressful at times, but the fact that they're playing, they're carrying on a legacy, and then hopefully, hey, 20, 30 years from now, there's a real women's NHL, let's say, and they're getting a really good salary out of it. And it'll be these people that help build it to what it is today.
What advice would you give future college coaches looking to get into college ice hockey?
Just get into the business and get experience, and don't worry about getting paid, because you're not going to get paid very much early on. Just become a valuable asset to a program through whatever niche you have. Could it be goaltending? Could it be video? Could it be whatever it is, you're recruiting, whatever it is, get in and get experience, and you'll be better for it.
What advice would you give future college head coaches looking to get into become the head coach of a college ice hockey program?
I think as you're an assistant coach, picture yourself as a head coach and what you would do. And then picture yourself as someone that's actually making the decision, instead of what happens usually as an assistant coach, you're making suggestions to the head coach to make a decision. And it's a lot easier to do that than actually make the decision and then weigh the potential consequences of those quote decisions that you make.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the UConn women's ice hockey program?
Where they can find us?
Mhm.
www.uconnhuskies.com. And we have social media accounts on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, I don't pay that much attention to it, but I hear it's really good, to be honest with you, Brendan.
That's wonderful. Thank you again, Coach Chris Mackenzie, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thanks, Brandon. All the best, buddy. Take care.
Thank you. You can find Brandon
Bye-bye.
Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Chris Mackenzie, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thanks, Brandon. Bye-bye.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.